Hello, welcome to Old Nerd Reads His Marvel Comics in Order, episode 27. This time I read Iron Fist number 4. And what a turn around the corner in quality this one has. I'll talk about it right after I have a little Tim Hortons dark roast. Oh yeah, that'll get the juices flowing. This is unfortunately a little haggard. Got that tear right there. Kind of flimsy. This one's been read a lot by someone, not by me. I bought this in a collection off eBay years ago to put together an entire run of Iron Fist because I was a John Byrne fanatic. Still am, I guess. And you're gonna notice when we get into this issue that I am. But yeah, it's pretty beat up. I'd like to have a nicer copy, but I think these are starting to these issues of Iron Fist, the John Byrne, Chris Claremont issues, I think have gone through the roof as far as value wise. I don't know. I'll look into it. But it'd be nice to replace this one, but not necessary. I've had it for a long time. But the art in this issue just explodes from the last issue of Marvel Premiere that Iron Fist was in was the first issue that John Byrne drew. And then issues 1, 2, and 3 were pretty good as art-wise. But this one, for some reason, I don't know if John Byrne put in more time to the drawing, more detail, so that the inker, who is Frank Chiaramonte, I think he's been inking it for the whole time John Byrne's been doing the pencils. I don't know if John Byrne put in more detail to kind of guide the inker into doing a better job. I won't say he did a bad job, but doing a better job bringing out John Byrne's detail. This I don't even care about the story in this one too much because I'm just looking at the artwork in this. The story's good. It's fine. It's still Iron Fist versus this nuclear irradiated villain who started off in a suit of armor in the last issue, and now he's melted that off or whatever, and now he's just a nuclear irradiated man in this issue. He's about to explode like a nuclear bomb, and that's what happens. But look at this layout. It's basically the bad guys who are the head of this Meacham Corporation down on the bottom, and he makes it look like they're looking up at a screen, watching the news, because this is a news report, a BBC news report. It transitions from the villain about to explode and Iron Fist can't do anything about it to boom, it explodes in the top of this tower. This is in London. And a reporter, and then an aerial view, and then these guys watching the news report on television. Just this is like the birth of the 80s of Marvel comics and comics in general, because once Marvel started doing this, DC and everyone else followed suit as far as the art style went. And John Byrne was like the godfather of it. He pretty much ushered in the 80s. The 80s comic style that we all us old nerds love. He pretty much ushered it into existence here in the mid to late 70s with his explosion in Marvel Comics. But the artwork, I can't, it's so detailed, the hatching, the fine lines. The inker isn't just slopping on ink. He's actually, putting the fine-tipped pen on his ink brush and going over Byrne's hatching very, very precisely, and just doing a fantastic job. I wish this issue was in better condition. These pages are pretty yellowed and flimsy. Definitely feels like an old newspaper, but look at that. Look at that. So good. And now we get into the the origin. This is the origin of the villain of the piece. This is him before he became irradiated. He was a scientist working with the World Health Organization, trying to come up with a universal vaccine to end nuclear radiation poisoning. And of course, the corporate people in the beginning are the bad guys. They send in their thugs to this scientist saying, hey, we want the copyright on your serum or whatever because we're going to make a lot of money. He says no, gets his ass kicked for it, and turns into a freak. And what's happened here? I think this, Marvel 2-in-1. He appeared in Marvel 2-in-1 number 9, which was the thing and Thor teaming up. And then he puts on his armor for that issue, I think. Misty Knight missing her bionic arm. Man, I love this artwork. I can't even tell you how much. This is just some of my favorite stuff. John Byrne back then was just incredible. Just incredible. Bad guys up on top of the building now, shooting at the firemen down below, trying to help. Mighty Marvel checklist on sale first 2 weeks of January. So this would be January 76. These are all the titles that were on sale. Tomb of Dracula, number 43, front and center. What in this list do I have in my queue for Old Nerd Reads Marvel Comics in order? Iron Fist number 4, of course. And I think that's about it. Everything else in there I do not own. Here's a long letter praising John Byrne and talking about the anchor Frank Chiaramonte being a good team, and I've got to agree. Kind of running Chris Claremont into the ground here, but he says that he's getting better. So, and Marvel Value stamped this issue, somebody's feet, and I have no idea who that would be, but it's in the mist. So I'm wondering if it's somebody like Dracula. That's my guess. Dracula. That's my guess. Jack Kirby's cover of Foom. Jack Kirby's back, and he did the latest issue of Foom's cover. So that's pretty cool. Joe Weider with a bunch of pictures of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now let's get back to the action. Just look at this. Look at this. Comics did not look this good in the 70s until John Byrne came along, in my opinion. Now, I'm not proficient on every comic book, as you saw when we looked at the previous page with the Mighty Marvel checklist. I'm not proficient. I don't have all those issues. I wasn't studying the art style of all the comics at the time, but to me, this just stands out compared to the other stuff I've been reading. Just look at the detail. Look at the... I love it. I love it. Just want to show every page because such good stuff. The artwork is so good. And it's typical Chris Claremont writing. You know, lots of verbosity, lots of thoughts describing what the character's going through. Look at that panel. They go through all the floors of the skyscraper, landing at the bottom. And it just so happens that that's where the machine that will fix the villain's plight is, and Iron Fist just happens to know how to run it, of course. And bam, zaps him, and he reverts back to his human self. The end. Unless you want to learn to play guitar. Or play with your plastic army soldiers, which was always a good time. Or if you want to go to LaSalle University and quit being a loser and get a real job. Iron Fist, number 4. I got to see if I can find a better copy. This one, it's okay. It's probably like very good condition. But I would rather have very fine, at least. That would be nice. But Iron Fist number 4, to me, the artwork turned a corner in this issue, and it's like peak John Byrne right there. You can't get any better than the art in this book. Like, I imagine people's minds were exploding in the beginning of 1976 when this came out. But anyway, if you've got any trivia, or if I did I get anything wrong during my ramble, comment down below, and like, share, and subscribe, of course. And I really appreciate you watching. Stick around with me. We've got a lot further to go reading my comics in order. So be on the lookout, subscribe so you see all that's coming down the pipeline. Thanks for being here. Bye-bye.